good fat, bad fat, low fat, no fat. It can be so confusing. It doesn't have to be. We'll unlock the mysteries of essential fatty acids today on Christina Cooks. Today we're going to talk about essential fatty acids, what's so essential about them, and why we need them in our diet. Well, it's pretty easy. They're called essential because you can't live without them. They're also called essential because you can't manufacture them in your body. You have to get them from your diet. There's not a cell in our system that doesn't require fat. Without fat in your diet, proper kinds of fats, nothing will function well. Not any organ function. You can't maintain health and vitality. There is good fat and there are bad fats. Essential fatty acids are the ones that you need. There are two families, the omega-3s and the omega-6s. And this will all become clearer as we work throughout the show today. But you need to understand that the American diet can be pretty rich in omega-6, which helps blood to clot, and can also be very deficient in omega-3, which helps to thin blood. And without a balance of those two, you create all sorts of deficiencies and imbalances within your system. There's so much to talk about with essential fatty acids. Next, we'll join an expert. I'm here with Richard Rose, founder and director of the Hemp Food Association and founder and president of Hemp Nut Inc. He's also an authority on essential fatty acids and hemp seed as food. Hi, Richard.
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Nice to be here.
So EFAs are in the news a lot lately. What's going on with that? We haven't heard much before.
Yeah, we haven't. And what has been happening in about the last 5 years, there's been about 51 studies published in respected medical journals. And they've all come to the same conclusion that omega-3 especially is a super nutrient.
And we're not getting it.
We're not getting enough of it in the American diet, that's for sure.
Why?
Well, it's only found in certain foods, fish and flax, hemp seed, and a few other plants. And those are really missing in the American diet.
Right. So what about it in terms of peak performance for humans? You know, we always want to be at our best. It's the best this, the best that. What about it for that?
Yeah,
and conditions, if that applies.
Well, it's great for a number of illnesses and conditions. And peak performance, just every day you want to feel better. You want your hair to be better, your nails, your fatigue. You don't want to be tired at night. And those can all be helped with omega-3. Wow.
Well, we're going to head to the kitchen now and cook with not only hemp, but some other foods that have omega-3. So why don't you join us? Come on, let's go to the kitchen. Well, welcome to my kitchen.
It's nice to be here.
You ready to cook?
Absolutely.
Can you cook and talk?
We'll see.
It remains to be seen. We're going to work on stuffed artichokes, and many people are familiar with stuffing artichokes with breadcrumbs. We're going to use something just a little bit different. But first, I'd like you to clean this.
Absolutely.
So what would you like as your weapon?
Both.
Whoa. Alrighty then. So, Richard, but while you're doing that, talk to me about, no, curl your finger around the knife so that you're in control, not the knife, sorry. Tell me a little bit more about EFAs and the balance that is required between omega-3 and omega-6, because that seems to be a really important issue, and then we'll move on to your real specialty from there.
Yes, well, that's a good point. The ratio of omega-6 to 3, is 3 to 1, and the reason it's 3 to 1 is that's what's found in the body, is that ratio. And most sources of omega-3 are not 3 to 1, 6 to 3, such as flax is much higher than 3, and fish as well. So the ratio is important, as well as the absolute quantity of omega-3.
And the American diet is much richer in omega-6.
Yes, you can find omega-6 in margarine and in soybean oil and corn oil and fast food grease, and very, very little omega-3.
And with the low-fat craze that America seems to be so fascinated with, we seem to be even getting less and less of omega-3.
Yes. It was hardly any to start with, and then they go on the low-fat diets or fat-free diets, and they're not getting any. So
you've been in the natural food business for a really long time, over 20 years, and somehow you settled on hemp seeds as the specialty that you're into now because of the essential fatty acids. So tell me about how you settled there, why, and what's going on with that while I make the stuffing. And these are, in fact, shelled hemp seeds.
They are. Shelled hemp seed, 9% omega-3 and 31% protein. It's a very rich source of the omega-3, plus it's got the correct ratio, 3 to 1 with omega-6.
And it's a complete protein as well.
It is. It's a very high-quality protein, similar to albumin, which is the egg white protein, considered the gold standard for proteins. But the diet in the U.S. has steadily become higher and higher.
Okay, you might want to use a knife now.
Yeah, well, a little more.
I'd like you to have 10 digits when you leave to go back to your work.
I just want to keep my fingers.
That would be good. And this is some garlic. You don't mind garlic?
I love garlic.
There you go. And now normally in a stuffing for artichokes you would use olive oil, but we are in fact going to use hemp seed oil. So tell us about that as well.
Hemp seed oil is simply oil pressed from the whole hemp seed, and it's...
What are its benefits?
Well, it's 20% omega-3, and it's in the right ratio of omega-6. So
as
it's
well.
60% omega-6, meaning that the oil itself is 80% essential fatty acids.
And you've talked about it being a diet oil. I've heard you actually use that phraseology. What do you mean by that? And how does it affect, the way we use it?
Well, as a diet oil, what I mean is that omega-3, because it's used by the body in virtually every biological process, virtually every cell needs omega-3, it doesn't see it as a fat that's energy
or stored.
Or stored on the hips, on the stomach, on the arms.
There's good news.
Yeah, it sees it as fuel for the cells. And so consequently, the body will not respond to it like it does soybean oil and store it and cause you to get fat.
What's the best experience you've had, because you were in the soy industry for a long time. I'm going to start stuffing these while you finish the eternal job of cleaning that artichoke.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to put the hemp seed mixture into the center of these. So what's been your experience, the reaction of people with this? I mean, are there questions, first of all? I mean, there's always the joke.
There's always the joke, and America is the Americans tend to jump on that one pretty quick. Yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Of course.
Hemp, of course, is the low-octane cousin of marijuana. You can't get high, you can't flunk a drug test. It's grown in every industrialized country in the world.
And in fact, it's been used in Chinese medicine for thousands of years.
Thousands of years.
For many, many conditions.
And it's been used as food in China for at least 5,000 years that we've been able to trace back.
And so, in terms of EFAs, let's go back to that a little bit. Just, is there an ideal amount that people should be getting? Is there sort of an RDA, if you will, of 3 to 6? And how much should we be thinking about getting? Do we need to eat like truckloads of hemp seeds to make this work?
That would make me happy, but no, there
Can I have this
Well,
finally?
we're getting there. This thing is, this is raw. You didn't cook this.
No, we're going to cook them now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so, I got some stuffing here left, so come on.
It's like tabbouleh to me.
You say tabbouleh. So talk to me about that. How much do people need to eat?
There's no RDA
because,
yet.
people take flaxseed and,
You need to get a couple grams of omega-3.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
Couple grams.
You could get that in an ounce of hemp oil.
Oh, really? And what about using hemp oil in cooking, which we're about to do since it's in the stuffing?
Voila.
Okay, now can you start putting these into the pan of steaming water? Don't scald yourself.
Probably do that.
There you go. Put those in.
You going to put any wine in here or anything?
Well, it's right next to you, yes. I would like to see you do that.
Alrighty then.
There's one more artichoke to go with. Well, 2 more, so. There you go. And you really just want to stuff the center of these. You don't have to get it between each leaf. The richness of the flavor will just kind of work its way right through the artichoke. There goes the last one. Cover those. Little salt. Some generous pinches of salt, just to really bring out the flavor. Cover that, please.
Yep. Turn it up.
Yep, turn it up to high so it steams. So there's 1,000 uses for hemp seeds, and the next recipe we're going to work on is a simple pesto that just kind of, like any other pesto you'd work on. You can put your stuff in here because now I need you to chop tomatoes. You are not done working yet. Just going to chop this for garnish. What we're going to do is just in a food processor take some pine nuts. Talk to me about the flavor of hemp seeds, Richard. Most people are very unfamiliar with it, and reluctant to maybe try something that's so new.
Well, it tastes like shelled hemp seed tastes like pine nuts and sunflower seeds.
They're really rich. I mean, I love working with them because
it's a
of the
savory
richness.
flavor, and I've noticed every recipe that's included it tasted a little bit better because of it.
Why do you think that is? Just because of the oil that's present?
I think because of the high omega-3, but I believe also there are they're just compounds in it, the things that make it taste like pine nuts, for instance.
So what we have in here are pine nuts, hemp seeds, some garlic, some white miso, again to simulate the flavor of Parmesan cheese, some fresh basil, some parsley. We're going to pulse this just to get a course meal before we add the balance of the ingredients. And what we have here are sun-dried tomatoes that have been soaked in oil. And you want these because I don't have to cook these. These are ready to go right into the pesto. And this is going to add a richness that is unparalleled. Some umeboshi plum vinegar for a little sour taste. Also helps you to digest it. And a tiny bit of mirin for a little bit of sweet because you can never have enough sweet in your life. And we'll just pulse this until you have a nice coarse paste. We just have some cooked penne here. How's that coming?
Mezzaluna would be nice, but I'm working on it.
There you go.
Oh, thanks.
I need a nice fine chop on that. Now remember that pesto means paste, so it should be nice and thick. And depending on what part of Italy you're from, north or south, will determine whether you mix the pesto in right away or dollop it on top like this, the way my grandmother used to from Naples. So this goes right on top there. So people get to have really delicious food and have it be probably the finest nutrients they can get. This is pretty much a superfood that we're working with right now.
Right. This is perhaps the most nutritious pesto you'll ever eat.
Cool. Can I have some of those tomatoes now?
You want some of that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Just want to garnish away.
Garnish on.
There you go. So here we have our hemp seed pesto over penne pasta. Richard, thank you very much for joining me in my kitchen. It's a pleasure to have you.
It was great to be here.
Cool. I could never stress the importance of getting the proper balance of essential fatty acids in your diet. And while most of us would prefer to get it from our food, sometimes you need to supplement. The reason is many of us get far too much omega-6, which can cause the blood to clot and cause your vessels to constrict, whereas omega-3 helps the blood to thin and relax blood vessels. The ideal balance is omega-6, 3 parts, omega-3, 1 part. The good news is you can supplement your diet in many natural ways to get that optimal balance. Let's take a look. For many of us, there are a lot of these blends. There's oils, there's things called total EFAs, which have lots and lots of ingredients together to create a balance in your supplement. You also have borage and evening primrose, which are very rich in omega-3, another good source. Then there's flax, which everyone's pretty familiar with. The good news about flax is that it's really, really rich in omega-3 and can really help when you have severely high cholesterol to help to lower that. Then there are fish oils. While some vegetarians may object to that, fish oils can be a very, very good way to, again, treat and prevent heart disease. Fish oils need to be kept in the refrigerator. They need to be used very carefully with the supervision of a doctor because they're very, very, very strong. They go easily rancid, so be careful with fish oils. My personal choice is hemp seed oil, only because it has the perfect optimal biological balance of omega-6 3 parts to omega-3 1 part, and it's a whole unprocessed food source of getting your essential fatty acids. Okay, our cookies are ready. And I made a simple glaze with just some soy milk, some non-dairy chocolate chips melted together to make a simple ganache. Put it in a squeeze bottle, and we're just going to glaze these cookies. Just make some little zigzag lines over top. This makes the perfect dessert. What a great idea. Dessert and you're getting your EFAs. It doesn't get more brilliant than this. Just glaze these up. This will keep, by the way, this little chocolate ganache will keep in the fridge for, I don't know, like a week. You just have to put it in a little hot water to open it up again. There you go. There's our cookies. Next, we'll finish up our artichokes. Just beautiful. The stuffing is perfect. The artichokes are nice and tender. We'll just put these on a platter. Loaded with EFAs. There we have our artichokes. And now, just a couple of simple condiments that you can make to really sort of get some EFAs to very common dishes. We're going to take some pumpkin seeds and add a little bit of curry spice to them. Pumpkin seeds are very rich in omega-3, so it's a nice place to get them. We're just going to lightly pan toast these just until the curry starts to smoke, just like you're seeing here. This gets the curry nice and hot. You toast them until the pumpkin seeds start to puff. The smoke will begin to dissipate. You're not doing any damage here. This is a dry roast. You just put these together. Then you can store these in a jar, but what I like to do is just take them and toss these over some boiled vegetables. You get really great flavor. You don't even need a dressing. And you're getting some more EFAs. Brilliant. The next condiment is very simple. You take some salt. And what we're going to do with the salt is just pan toast this. And what that does is make the salt a little bit more digestible. And it's the vehicle that's actually going to take the EFAs deep into the system and help you digest them even better. Once the salt is roasted for maybe 30 seconds to a minute, no big deal, then we're going to add to this some toasted hemp seeds. And toast them a little bit more. And again, you're just going to toast these. They start to smell like popcorn when they're ready. Don't burn them. Keep the heat like a medium to a medium low. And as soon as you get that lovely fragrance, then these are done. Again, like this is all taking less than a minute. It's such a convenient way to get the perfect balance of omega-3 and omega-6 in your diet. Once they're toasted, we're going to put them into something called a suribachi. This is a suribachi. It's a Japanese grinding bowl. And it's just a clay bowl, but it has these little ridges. It's sort of like a mortar and pestle with a little kick, because it's got ridges for you. In go our toasted seeds and salt. And then we're just going to simply grind them. And what this does is open up the oil of the seeds, drive the salt into the seeds, so you have a really complete tasting condiment. And this is really nice on raw salad, boiled salad, or grain dishes like rice or millet. Anything you like, baked potatoes. It's really a delicious way. And just a tablespoon of this a day, and you're getting all the EFAs that you need in your diet. One final trick, just take a raw salad, take an avocado, again, good source of omega-3. Open up your avocado, twist it. Then using a spoon, I'm just going to lift out the flesh. And we're going to cut this into chunks and just add it to the top of a raw salad. This gives you a wonderful balance of EFAs. Little chunky pieces. A little bit slippery, so be careful with these. Just put these right on top around your salad. And now to really make sure that you're getting a good healthy dose of your EFAs, you take some hemp seed oil. Pour that over top. A little salt, help make things a little more digestible. And just a touch of Japanese plum vinegar. Once again, this will help to balance all the flavors and make the whole thing sparkle. Then I like to take the whole empty avocado shell and just use it as a garnish on the side. Just in case chocolate's not your thing, I can't imagine that, but just in case it's not, here's another quick condiment that's a sweet one. You're going to take a skillet, take some brown rice syrup. Can never seem to get too much of this. And all we're going to do is cook this over like a medium heat until it's loosened. We're going to take some walnuts and coarsely chop them, just so you have little bite-sized pieces. Now walnuts, remember, are very rich in omega-3, so it's just another great place to get them. Isn't it nice to know that you can get your essential fatty acids in desserts as well? Let's chop those, and just as the rice syrup begins to loosen, just a touch of hemp seed oil. In goes the walnuts. You're going to stir these around. You just want to stir them in the loosened rice syrup just until they're coated. You can add a little cinnamon to this if that's what you like. Then we're going to take some fresh raspberries and just scoop the sweet walnuts right over the top. Pure decadence and good for you too. It doesn't get better than this. So remember, they don't call them essential fatty acids for nothing. They're essential because you must have them. See you next time on Christina Cooks.
Light up your life with Christina's companion book, Glow, with over 150 recipes, home remedies, simple scrubs, and more. To order your copy for $15.95 plus shipping and handling, call 1-800-266-5815 Plus, Christina takes the mystery out of Whole Foods cooking with her cookbook, Cooking the Whole Foods Way,